to disenchant the man of earth with his destiny, to fill him with the facts and fancies that enthrall etoliated and degenerated idealists, and unfit him for his evident purpose, that of supplying society with supermen. Crowley said that. You think he didn't know who you were? Crowley said that. That is what we are in the business of, people. I was talking, shout out to my brother Tim Jennings Bay of Street Addiction Academy. He and I were talking, and we were talking about how in the Bible, it says those that will go into the lake of fire, the first people it names is the fearful. The fearful. And how this present narrative is doing everything it can to instill and evoke fear out of people. Okay? To instill and evoke fear. Okay? So they don't even want you to think about the possibilities of man or the possibilities, or that's the whole thing. If they instill enough fear, you won't even think that it's possible for you to be a Superman or Superwoman, for you to be Supercell. You understand? For you to be Lisan al-Gaib. See? For you to be the embodiment of Christ. We are the second coming. We, people. We. And Christ represents what? The Superman, the new man. Christ represents Simeon. Man, we're talking about a nation of Simeon Tokos, people. It's within our reach, but we first have to believe. That is the quantum operator. Next slide. This is the conclusion, people. This is the conclusion. What we have with monoatomic gold, it's a soul-flesh interface. It's, Bose-Einstein condensate is considered the fifth state of matter. It is literally what separates, it is the gateway between the three-dimensional world and the higher dimensions. It's a mini wormhole or portal between dimensions. It generates a Meissner field and repels magnetic fields and facilitates quantum entanglement. Okay? And of course, yes, must have an even number of Cooper paired electrons. All right, fine. So this is kind of review. Monoatomic, orbitally rearranged monoatomic elements. They must form a Bose-Einstein condensate in order to be monoatomic, and thus a wormhole. Quantum coherence, right? Meaning spooky action at a distance. Meaning time and space are no barriers. Okay? Room temperature superconductivity, it straddles dimensions or ether planes. It is physical scaffolding for consciousness and biologic information communication. Dispersed throughout the human body via the connective tissue network and the brain and the spine. It facilitates inter and intracellular communication. It facilitates DNA repair. It gives access to the bioenergetic field, the plane of soul, or the extra dimensional experience, to physical and 3D communication. It is inert. What do we mean by inert, people? When you ingest it, it's not digested in the system. It goes to where it's needed and replaces what was lost. It is not consumed in the process of ingestion. And body needs sourcing and replenishment, certain foods, like for instance, Essiac tea. A lot of people were going to their health food stores and getting Essiac tea to naturally treat cancer. Now you see why it worked against cancer. Because it has a high concentration of monoatomic elements. That's why. And of course, supplements like our monoatomic gold and any other authentic monoatomic gold product. We are done, brother. I can take questions.
Man, oh man. Oh man. Wow. One of the best when it comes to this presentations, when it comes to scholarship. I mean, you do your thing, brother. We need you in our community. You are definitely needed in our community with that. I'm gonna take a couple of questions from the family. Give me just a couple. How long we been on? About an hour and a half. Yeah, I'm gonna take about 2 questions from the family in the chat. Give me some questions. Just and let me just ask, just talking about alchemy and
Yes, sir.
Obviously this channel is a metaphysical channel, and we use words like alchemy and magic
Yes.
and manifestation, and you talk about belief, belief, and all of that stuff.
Yes.
It almost seems sometimes, brother Sharif, that I know some people that they do all, they have the most alkaline diet in the world. They talk about practicing sex magic.
Yes.
They talk about doing yoga. They're trying all of these things that we hear about, but it seems as though, brother Sharif, that they can't make the breakthrough that they're looking for. And then it seems as though some people just got it. So I'm wondering, brother Sharif, is this something to be this alchemist, to be great like some of the brothers and sisters you talk about and teach on? Do you have to just be born with it? Because these brothers, they out here trying all types of shit, and you can see it ain't in their heart. I can see it. It just ain't in their heart.
Yo, listen, I told you before off camera. I told you off camera that you don't belong to a religious organization or any spiritual organization per se, but you display a very significant degree of spiritual advancement. Your question is powerful, and I'm so glad you asked it. It's not so much as a matter, now mind you, there is certain things like you could be born talented at a certain thing. Yes, there's people that pop out of the womb like they had a basketball in their hand. But guess what? Everybody can improve their game with practice.
Indeed.
This is the same thing, bro. Everybody can do it. Now, but not to answer your question, you got people that, I'm studying the chakras, and I'm doing this, and I'm into that, and I'm eating alkaline, and I'm da-da-da-da-da. You know what? But here's the real issue. That's why I began this presentation by talking about the state of mind, not the product. We have been socialized in the West to literally believe that the physical body is a defecating making machine, and that's all it's good for. We don't believe we're divine, bro.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We might say the words, we say peace God, and peace goddess, and peace queen. We don't believe it. That's where it's got to start. You see what I'm saying? It's got to start with the change in perception and a shift in your consciousness. You have to start there. Nothing else works until then. In that book, The Body Electric by Dr. David Becker, in his preface in the book, he says something powerful. Follow me. In Western medicine, prior to the discovery of penicillin, even Western medicine had to factor in the patient as a component of the healing process. But when they discovered penicillin, they're like, oh my God, this stuff works. It kills germs, it kills bacteria. That was a great advance, but at the same time, it polarized the Western medical mind. Now, Western medicine in application is just applied biochemistry. They totally X out the patient, which is why they could say, oh, the operation was a success, but unfortunately, the patient didn't survive the operation. How in the world was it a success? That's like chopping their head off to say we cured the headache.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So here it is. We have to reinsert the human consciousness into the equation. That's what has to happen. We have to, that's why I said, listen, people, you have to see yourself as greater than your flesh, because you are not your flesh. We are human spirits, and spirit is omnipotent. Omnipotent meaning what? The spirit part of ourselves is already connected to everything. It's already quantum entangled. It's just our consciousness has shrunk so small that we're not connected to that part of our consciousness. So you have to begin with belief. You got to begin with no. I am like Simeon Toko. I just haven't fully realized it yet. You see what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Yeah. It almost seems like, with you saying that, it almost seems as though like you said a little while ago, you have to believe that you are divine. You know, and I have a true core belief that I am divine, but it almost seems like a lot of people believe that they have to become divine instead of believing that they are already divine. And they believe that once they do this, they'll be divine. Once they do that, they'll be divine.
They believe, take again, like I said with Dr. Becker, how we've been socialized into thinking about ourselves. We drop our kids off at the doctor and say, he's sick, fix him. I'll be back at 3 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't tell me to change my diet. Just give me a pill.
Right.
And so guess what the new pill is in the conscious community? Alkaline diets. All kinds of other things that you put in your body from outside. That's why I said it's so important to understand that this is already in your body. This is secondary. We're putting this in to rebuild that body. See? And to make more tangible the access to the higher dimensions. Get it?
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. This facilitates it. It doesn't do it for us. We do it for us.
I like how you said that it's secondary. Everything that we put,
Anything you put in your body from the outside is secondary.
I love how you said, yeah.
If man is already divine, you already have it.
That's been, I've had several people on this week that have had a similar message. I've had this brother named Yaki Awaken had a similar message.
Powerful brother.
Dr. B Serious had a similar message.
Yes.
Dr. Jew Pulcrum had a similar message. Yes. So it seems like everybody is saying the same thing in a different way. I hope y'all get that, man. This shit is beautiful. What's happening? This is beautiful. Listen, Sharif, you gotta send me one of those. I got
I got you, bro.
I got the I'm gonna have the honey. Make sure y'all support KT with the honey. I'm gonna have that. I'm living like God on earth right now, man. It's good, man. I can't wait to try it. I can't wait to go to the you bring it to the conference and everybody just get it at the conference. These are some beautiful times, man. Let's get to a few questions, like I said.
Sir. Let's do it.
Okay, let me get to a few super chat questions. Shout out to everybody who gave a super chat. Okay, is there any backlash for using this substance and magic with the wrong motive?
I mean, that's wrong motive is relative. Wrong motive is relative. Let's in the book of Ecclesiastes in the Old Testament, it says there's a time for everything under the sun. There's a time to preserve life. There's a time to kill. You see what I'm saying? So, and we say in the Moorish Science Symbol of America, wise words are uttered in due season. In other words, what makes it the wrong motive? If it's out of season. You get it? If it's out of season, if it harms others indiscriminately, if it causes an inharmonious condition. It's just like, people's, you have something that's going on, there's conflict, and people say, yeah, well, I don't want to, I want to just keep the peace, so I'm not going to get into it. No, the peace is already disturbed. You better throw a fist and restore peace. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Peace is already disturbed.
He said you better
have courage for truth.
Oh, right? Man.
Right.
This brother ain't playing.
Yeah.
Wow.
You better restore harmony. So let me get to it. Is there any backlash for using this substance and magic in the wrong motive? See, again, like I said, the wrong motive is relative. Only you can say what the wrong motive is for you. Only you can do that. You see, you hear people talk about black magic, white magic. In the truth, in the totality of things, there's no such thing in the totality of things. Because like I said, there's a time and place for everything. You see, our brothers and sisters in Haiti weaponized their spirituality. And as a result, did what? They beat the pants off of a European superpower. But best believe the Haitian Revolution began with that pot in the middle of the woods.
Right.
Believe it. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of blood was shed. But can we say it was a bad thing? See my point?
Gotcha.
All right.
Let's get to this next question. Pardon me, family. I want to come home to the more
science symbol of America.
Yep. America. When Noble Drew Ali said, "If I give you all of it, it will put you back to sleep." Is the temple and its leadership ready for this mindset coming through?
That's a great question. I'm going to answer that with Noble Drew Ali's own words. Now, he said this in the 1920s. He said in the year 2000, the Moors are going to come into their own, meaning he was legacy building. He even knew when the movement was in its physical heyday in the 20s, he knew he didn't do it for that generation. He did it for this generation, right? That's one. Two, he said the third and fourth generation will see the good of my work. He said, this is for the children and the generations yet unborn. And then the big one, he said this, they're going to be new Moors coming in with their eyes wide open, seeing and knowing. They're going to take you old Moors, seat you in the back, and they're going to carry out my law. That's what you're seeing right now. So if you have the desire or the mind to come and join on to the work, that means that you're probably one of those new ones coming in with their eyes wide open. Right? And then another thing as well, one of the purposes of the Moorish science symbol of America is not to proselytize and to just, it's not, no. It's to broadcast our hidden history and culture to our people. Chinese people don't go to an organization to learn how to be Chinese. But you know why they don't? Because they never had to.
Right.
They never had to, but we did. See what I'm saying? We did. So it's not one of those secret society type things. Well, you got to join us to get this knowledge. Nah, you kidding me? Our job is to give it to you for free because it's yours anyway. See?
All right. Let's get to another. I know y'all loving this, man. I know y'all are loving this. Let me see. Let's get to another super chat question. What is this? Well, not a super chat, but this is Brother Rich. Where does hydrogen play a part of the alchemical processing we partake in as the number one element and manifesting the gold consciousness?
Good question. So what we're talking about.
Real quick, a lot of talk on hydrogen water. So we were just talking about the other show. So I'm glad you can. Yeah,
that's cool, right? But you know, I have to contextualize my answer. When we're talking about M state elements, when we're talking about elements in the high spin state, we are no longer talking about. We're no longer talking about pure physicality, people. We're past, let's say, hydrogen atoms. We're past that. We're talking about alchemical transmutation at the atomic level. So let's say we're talking about hydrogen. And I'm not sure, I have to research it, but I'm not sure if there's such thing as M-state hydrogen. See? So to answer the question, we would first have to qualify it by determining whether hydrogen can exist in a monoatomic state. See, this is challenging this is challenging how we've been trained to think. We've only been trained to think within 3 dimensions, people. So when we start talking about things like see yourself as a human soul, see yourself as a living soul, what we're doing is we're challenging you to raise your consciousness beyond physicality, because consciousness is beyond physicality. You see what I'm saying? So the question, where does hydrogen play a part in the alchemical processing, right? We would have to first determine whether hydrogen is it possible for hydrogen to exist in the M state first. Then what we would do is we would analyze the properties of M-state hydrogen. Like, for instance, properties of M-state gold that have been verified through experimentation by scientists, right? Increasing expanding consciousness, DNA repair, longevity, right? For let's say iridium, high spin iridium. High spin iridium can literally unzip DNA and then reshape and then reform it in correct DNA. See? So and so different things, and there's literal white paper. There's literal white paper, in other words, research, scientific research on different M state elements and what their effects are on the human body. So to answer that question, we'd have to determine, first of all, if hydrogen can exist in the M state, one, and then two, what would its properties be on the human body?
Real quick, shout out to Black Dot. I see Black Dot and Urban X in the chat.
Yeah.
Black Dot, I was talking about your shirt earlier. I'm rocking the Gathering the